بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحقيقة أهلا بكم أحبتي. اليوم بإذن الله تعالى سوف نكمل الدرس الثاني أو المحاضرة الثانية لمواد السيراميكية والأطيان المعدنية التي تختص بالمواد السيراميكية، وكذلك طرق التصنيع و مميزات تصنيع ومميزات استخلاص المواد الطينية الخاصة بتصنيع المواد السيراميكية. So then we've got the most basic, most of the area again here, brand new lecture most associated to the ceramic materials as well as the mineral clays and associated to the ceramic materials somehow exactly in any way or any technicality you can ever come across exactly here, as well as the suitable techniques or particular techniques associated or even pretty much particularly attracted or even related to the manufacturing of the ceramic materials, as you are pretty much all aware of. So the technicalities we're about to talk about today exactly here are mostly associated to the manufacturing of ceramic material by using the technicalities or even by using the bases as well as the foundations of the mineral clays. Mineral clays we just talked about exactly in the lecture 1 are going to be complemented exactly through this very lecture today, as they are the raw materials to manufacture, or they just say not raw material, yeah, the primary as well as the raw materials or the bases as well as the basic materials to manufacture the ceramic materials. بنتونايت طين البنتونايت كما ترون امامكم. طين بنتونايت تحتوي سمكتايت وهو المونتمورونايت. بنتونايت يحتوي سمكتايت اللي هو المونتمورونايت نفسه. As you can see, the bentonite will be comprising or implicating the smectite, which is the same as montomoronite. Will be called the montomoronite as the same as smectite, the same title as well as the same term to refer to montomoronite at the same time. يعني يشير إلى المونتمورونايت. أولا very plasticity material، مواد لدينة جدا. Two, this is first very plasticity material as you can see we're funny. Two, they show very high dry strength، تظهر متانة جفاف عالية جدا عند الجفاف. تعطي متانة عالية جدا، really high ultra level of strength as you are pretty much all aware of. So ultra level of strength, high dry strength. In this case, the strength of this very type will be called as dry strength or even the setting strength. Setting strength يعني مثال تصلب أو الجفاف. 3. There's inclusions exactly here about the topic. يعني تحتوي على متضمنات، أو مو تحتوي على متضمنات وإنما هناك متضمنات تحوم حولها، يعني توجد فوق المواد متضمنات فوق مواد البنتونايت. The above materials have many of inclusions exactly are to be considered in this case, where the inclusion can affect or even can alter certain character or even can alter certain feature about the bentonite features, or even about the bentonite to display even or even to display certain mechanism, or even to display let's just say here certain way of performance, or even to exhibit enhance or approval that actually been done or introduced right exactly the bentonite material that we actually talked about. Any material that contains or any material that the inclusions are mostly revolving about. 4. As general term for the clays، مصطلح عام للأطيان هو البنتونايت، عام للأطيان ككل. 5. Contains of a montomoronite، يعني يحتوي على المونتمورونايت اللي هو بشكل smectite. Contains the montomoronite or even comprises the montomoronite exactly irritated as a smectite, as you can see, which is a whole new different term for the montomoronite to refer to the montomoronite itself here, or to refer to montomoronite himself. 6. Are never used in proportions or even are never used in certain whiteware's body or in certain whiteware's objects. تستخدم بنسب عالية are used in high proportions in whiteware objects and whitewares such as here. It's just the only whitewares. تستخدم بنسب عالية في المنتجات البيضاء. C. لما يستخدم بنتونايت بنسب عالية في المنتجات البيضاء because they cause a high leakage and affecting the defluculency. Where many of the bentonite will be exactly added or incorporated right to the limit of the indicated frequently for the objects of high plasticity or the plastic objects such as bone china, and the addition will lead to increased measurability and the toughness of the object or the wear. But in addition, or the excess of addition will lead to a dryness, or will lead to exactly high ultra level of stiffness or even settings. Exactly. يعني تضاف بصورة متكررة للأجسام ذات البلاستيكية مثل بون china for the plastic object, just like frequently to be added will frequently be bentonite will frequently be added to the low plastic object or the low plastic high plastic wares such as or the high plastic objects such as bone china. تضاف بصورة متكررة للأجسام ذات البلاستيكية مثل البون china، وهالإضافة تؤدي إلى زيادة قابلية التشغيل, and this access it or just say this addition only other than the excess, because the excess will lead to dryness. Will lead to the emergence of dryness, or as well as the emergence of settings, high level of settings, exactly here, to accelerate the static excitation, or to accelerate the dryness of the wear that we're actually using here in this very time. So this addition, هذه الإضافة, leads تؤدي إلى زيادة قابلية التشغيل, to increase the machinability as well as the toughness of the body or of the wear, والمتانة في الجسم. لكن الإضافة الزائدة, but the excess addition or the excess of addition will lead to a high level of stiffness or high level of settings, تؤدي إلى جفاف. Properties of raw clays, يعني خصائص الأطيان. بإذن الله سأتحدث عن خواص الأطيان. raw clays, الأطيان الخامة أو الأطيان الأولية. The properties can be exactly illustrated by the following dots or points we're about to visualize right now, exactly here. The points of classification are pretty much visualized by the following. One, the point of classification exactly associated to the particle size. يعني النقطة التي تتعلق بحجم الحبيبات أو حجم الجسيمات. الأجسام، حجم أجسام الأطيان. It's very important. It's of maximum essentiality, or the particle size is of maximum essentiality, since this influence many of features such as the plasticity, the dry strength, as well as the basic change capacity. يعني خاصية مهمة جدا, a particularity of maximum essentiality, لأنها تؤثر على الأمور مثل اللدونة بأمور الطين يعني, because it affects the matters or affairs of clay, such as the fourth affairs clays, exactly, such as the plasticity, the dry strength, as well as the base exchange capacity, or the substitutionability, أو يعني مقابلة الاستبدال, base exchange capacity. طرق قياس حجم الحبيبات أو الجسيمات. The ways or even the methods to measure the size of the particles. The particle size is measured by the following methods. The first method is going to be like I said illustrated by the following here, by using the electron microscope as well as the light microscopy. As you can see in front of you. The second method is to know the right amount or the right amounts of sizes of particles that is required and necessary technique. يعني لمعرفة حجم عدد هائل من الجسيمات, a whole right environment or a whole right variety of a whole variety of objects or particles such as here, it requires an additional task or it requires an additional technique, يحتاج أو يتطلب عملية إضافية. الثالثة, الأشعة السينية, the X-ray diffraction or the X-ray diffractoscopy, as you're pretty much aware of. It's pretty much suitable for the particle sizes less than 1 to 0.2 micron. يعني مناسبة لحجم حبيبات كما ترون أمامكم بمقدار أو مقدر أو estimated value of 0.2 micron is indicated right here for you. So for the deposition or the sedimentary method, طريقة الترسيب 4, sedimentary method, reasonable or even sensible for the average analysis. Sensible for average analysis, معقولة لمعدل التحليلات كما ترون. الخاصية الثانية للparticle shape هي particle shape. The second particularity of the raw clays are mostly associated to the particle size. Particle size we just visualized exactly. Our particle shape which is going to be visualized right now exactly in this particular occasion. As you can see, you'll find it as point two of the particularities. So the point two of particularities includes or implicates very much, or if I just say implicates, no, comprises the entire particle shapes, as you can see in front of you. Particle shapes in the illustrated as follows. Shape of particle is very, as you can see, for the shape of particles for the raw clays in association, or the shape of particle for the raw clays, or by association to the raw clays, exactly it can be like as huge as can be. 2. The electron microscopy gives information for particle shape. يعني المجهر الضوئي يعطي معلومات عن شكل الجسيمات. The electron microscopy or يعني المجهر الإلكتروني مو الضوء، يعني المجهر الإلكتروني الضوئي، يعني الإلكتروني الضوئي. The electronic light microscopy is actually pretty much offers intels or details information about the particle shapes. يعني يعطي معلومات مفصلة عن شكل الجسيمات. مثل أمثلة the clays minerals الأطيان الطينية مثلا أو الأطيان المعدنية قصدي the clays minerals. Example of this for the entire particle shapes as well as particle size associated examples are going to be exactly measured right in this particular occasion. The associated mineral clays, just like we studied, mineral clays are associated to the particle size as well as particle shapes. Just visualize exactly as the 2 points of the particularities of the mineral clays, or even the raw clays, primary clays here, primary clays mostly. So the examples are given exactly here for particle shapes and particle size in the form of the mineral clays, or even mentioned as mineral clays mostly, so hallocytes, such as the hallocyte. The hallocyte is a single crystals. We think really classic single crystals in the form of a rotary tube shape in the form of rotary tube shape يعني بشكل أنبوبي مدور which means in the form of cylindrical shaped halloysite crystals as you're pretty much aware of. So second mineral clay is going to be like mentioned as kaolins. Kaolins, we just look at it. The kaolins is not defined, but it is very of unequal side ends or unequal endpoints. Most is going to be like either rigid or even solid rock. يعني كاولينات ليست ناعمة لكنها ذات نهايات غير متساوية. كذلك الهالوسات بلورات أحادية single crystals. We think single crystals in a form of a rotary tube or rotary tubular very thin single crystals يعني بلورات أحادية نحن جدا بشكل أنبوبي مدور. الكائنات not defined as it can be as they are pretty much imagined, but they are mostly of an equal endpoints. لكنها ذات نهايات أو ذات نقاط نهايات غير متساوية. مثل الصخر الصلب ragged or solid rock. The gibbsite would you say the gibbsite is going to be like a layer of this it's going to with silica going to be forming the catlins, just like we said. The catlins consists of two layers of silica, just like we said, as well as one layer of gibbsite. Gibbsite is going to be confirming the ALO or the alumina layer, exactly in this case. So the silica confirming or the silica stands for the association of the very two layers, both layers of the silica, exactly, or the Si or the form of SiO is going to be like the silica to be confirming or to be confirmed exactly by the sandstone extraction from the quarries, exactly here to confirm or even to form the special layers that are actually associated to the kaolins, mineral clay. Kaolins is totally and intrinsically mineral clay. So kaolins consist of two layers of silica conjugated with the one layer of gibbsite. Gibbsite is going to be in this case as the alumina or the ALO. Gibbsite is a very sponge-like shaped objects. Very sponge-like shaped objects. يعني جسيمات اسفنجية الشكل. الخاصية الثالثة is particularly associated to the raw clays, which is visualized exactly in addition to the particle size and particle shape, the base exchange capacity. يعني مقابلة استبدال. قابلية الاستبدال. The base exchange capacity is a function expressed by the MEQ 100 gram. The MEQ to 100 gram. This is the measuring unit of the base exchange capacity as indicated by 40. So the base exchange capacity can be illustrated two-dimensionally, graphically by the following two-dimensional graphic representation as you can see illustrated right here before you literally, which is pretty much considered of two dimensions, y and x as indicated by 40. So the basic exchange capacity for two different ceramic materials is indicated by 40. Two curves indicated wide here, written all over right by using the technology of two dimensions, and the two-dimensional xy plane is indicated by 40. So the entire points are illustrated wide for the x-axis as well as the entire points are for the vertical y-axis is indicated wide here 40 by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, well to 10 as well as 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12. Piecewise or the pairwise, the horizontal axis increment of the entire points are exactly implemented right exactly in this very two-dimensional graphic representation as indicated wide here for you. The pairwise or even let's just say here the oddwise or let's see not oddwise standard 4 or standard 5 exactly here right from this point of the top, right from this point of 5 is exactly right up to the 10 point, which is going to be like exactly stands for the illustration of the entire floating point where the vertical y-axis to represents the basic exchange capacity versus the ceramic materials way of behavior. The ceramic materials technicality of behavior is right? The mechanism of the ceramic materials versus the basic exchange capacity. So as you can see for the two, the electrodialysis of the clay slip and a three compartment cell. In this method, the adsorbed ions are stripped by hydrogen. Mostly. The electrolysis of the clay in three compartment or even let's just say the tripolar cell or three compartment cell is in this method the adsorption of the ion will be replaced by hydrogen or will be stripped by hydrogen. يعني سيكون مستبدل بهذه الطريقة امتزاز الأيونات. The adsorption of ions will be stripped by hydrogen. Exactly. Or the electrolysis electrodialysis التحليل الكهربائي الثنائي للطين. The clay electrodialysis exactly. The three compartment cell في خلية ثلاثية الأقطاب بهذه الطريقة امتزاز الأيونات. In this way, the adsorption of the ions will be replaced or stripped by hydrogen. سيكون مستبدل بالهيدروجين. النقطة الرابعة لتوضيح خواص الأطيان الأولية أو خواص الأطيان الخام. The fourth point is to particularize or characterize the particularities associated to the raw clays that are just visualized exactly. In addition to the basic exchange capacity as well as particle size and particle shape, will be associated to the accessory minerals. Titling the accessory minerals is pretty much of huge advantage to be visualized exactly in this particular occasion. Titling the accessory minerals, which are mainly is going to be visualized right now as they are. Natural clay contains many types of crystalline materials. Contains many types of crystalline topics. Natural clays يعني أطيان طبيعية تحتوي على العديد من البلورات. Contains many of or even several crystalline topics. So too, the accessory minerals, particularly or even the associative features of the accessory minerals, white stone, right? Exactly here. So we're to be visualized right now. Two, those that are not clay minerals are known as accessory minerals. يعني المعادن الغير طينية تعرف بالمعادن الإضافية. Those that are not clay minerals are known as accessory minerals. يعني المعادن غير الطينية تعرف بالمعادن الإضافية التي تضاف كمعادن للمعادن الطينية, which are mainly going to be added exactly right to the clay minerals to be incorporated or introduced in the form of accessory minerals exactly as they are non-clay minerals or not clay minerals as well pretty much all around. So third point, the accessory minerals are of great importance in evaluating the value or evaluating the clay. Mostly or generally or typically. The clay minerals are of major advantage exactly to evaluating the clay في تقدير قيمة الطين. يعني ذات أهمية هائلة في تقدير قيمة الطين اللي هي المعادن الإضافية اللي هي تضاف مع المعادن الطينية. Which those are that are mainly included or implicated with the mineral clays in the form of very ceramic materials, very successful or very isotropic ceramic material, very isotropic ceramic materials. يعني ceramic material محدد الخواص والاتجاهات. أربعة, homogenized isotropic ceramic materials at the same time, because we are aiming to get exactly a very isotropic homogenized ceramic bulk or ceramic wares. Just like a part of these, just like we said, as well as advanced ceramics such as BSFT, just like we said at the beginning already, the commencement of the first lecture. Second lecture today will visualize exactly expandively, or even will visualize collaboratively the particularities of the raw clays and any associated features to the raw clays as well as the secondary clays. 4. The accessory minerals can be determined most readily by centrifuging. يعني يمكن الحصول عليها بواسطة القوة الطاردة المركزية. يمكن الحصول can be obtained or can be determined by using the centrifugal technicalities. Mostly readily. يعني يمكن الحصول عليها بعملية معروفة اللي هي عملية القوى الطاردة المركزية. More accessory minerals in clays or minerals of clays are quartz, feldspar, mica and iron minerals. يعني أغلب المعادن الإضافية في الأطيان مكونة كوارتز, فولدسبار, مايكا, معادن حديدية. The fifth one, in addition to the basic exchange capacity as well as the accessory minerals and particle size and shape, exactly here will be associated to the organic matter. The visualization of the organic matter will be exactly implemented right exactly from this particular occasion till further notice. As you can see, number 1, all clays contain some organic or all clays يعني كل الأطيان contains organic matters or organic topics. يعني كل الأطيان تحتوي على أجسام عضوية أو تحتوي على حبيبات عضوية. 2. There are the residual kaolins but a large amount in ball clays. يعني تكون بالكائنات المتبقية residual clays لكن كميتها كبيرة بالأطيان أو كميتها كبيرة عند الأطيان الكروية. They are slightly contained by the kaolins or residual kaolins, but slightly contained by the residual kaolins or repelled by the original kaolins or residual kaolins, but with a large variety or even with considerable amount in ball clays. With considerable amount يعني لكن كمية كبيرة هائلة يعني ملحوظة في الأطيان الكروية حول الأطيان الكروية about the ball clays. Is in the form of the ignite or lignite, waxes and humic acid. يعني تكون بشكل ليكنايت أو واكس يعني بشكل ليكنايت أو تكون بشكل واكس يعني شموع يعني قوام الشموع كقوام الشموع like waxotropy or even حوامض يعني حوامض جسمانية or a humic acid or a humic acid or humic acid. The organic matter and arguably has an important influence on the plastic as well as the direct feature of the clay, as you're pretty much aware of. So, just like we said, the organic matter and the organic matter يعني المواد العضوية الأصلية لها تأثير مهم على الدونة وكذلك الجفاف في الكلي. في الأطيان. In studying the features of clay minerals, it's necessary to remove the organic matter without destroying the crystal structure. يعني عند دراسة مميزات الطين أو المواد الطينية أو الأطيان المعدنية يكون من الضروري تمييز المواد العضوية الأصلية، أو من الضروري تمييز الأجسام العضوية الأصلية، الحبيبات العضوية الأصلية بالأخص. In particular the organic particles, or the organic grains should be thoroughly distinguished exactly here throughout the entire crystal life of the bulk, where they're actually dealing with exactly here, microscopically without destroying the crystal structure. يعني بدون تدمير أو بدون التأثير على التركيب البلوري. Without affecting or influencing substantial, or either without affecting or influencing extremely to the crystal structure. Readily, or the organization is readily be done by digestionating hydrogen peroxide solution. يعني التعضية أو المواد العضوية، يعني إكساب المواد صفة عضوية يكون عن طريق الخلط مع الهيدروجين أو مع الهيدروجين والبيروكسيد أو المحلول البيروكسيدي مع الهيدروجين والبيروكسيد solution as well as the hydrogen peroxide solution، أو الخلط مع المحلول البيروكسيدي الهيدروجيني مع الهيدروجين. 7. For a long time, it's required to remove the organic matter, to move the organic topics here several months with a frequent renewal of the peroxide. This is often necessary. يعني في فترة طويلة يجب استبدال المواد أو يجب استبدال مو المواد، يجب استبدال الحبيبات العضوية for a long time. The organic grains should be exactly replaced in strips with for months, for several months لمدة عدة أشهر with a frequent renewal of the peroxide، يعني مع تجديد المحلول البيروكسيدي بشكل متكرر with a frequent renewal of the peroxide solutions, or even just here the hydrogen peroxide solution exactly here. This is often necessary، يعني يكون غالبا مطلوبا أو ضروريا. 6. The color. As a part of the 6 parts of the particularity of the rock clays, as is already indicated in the beginning of this lecture, or the commencement of this very today lesson, as indicated by the colors. The colors is of great importance, exactly, to be visualized. The color of the rock clays is great importance in ceramics, since the heat used will destroy or alter the color. So the heat used will destroy or alter the color. يعني اللون يكون مهم بالسيراميك في المواد السيراميكية لأن الحرارة ستحاول أن تغير من نوعية الألوان. So the heat will to alter or even to deviate the type of the colors direction with exactly here throughout the ceramics or the ceramic topics or wares. 7. The 7 particularities of the rock clay that we just visualized through this video lecture today will be exactly of a chemical composition essence, or will be exactly of a chemical composition type or nature. The chemical composition التركيب الكيميائي، يعني النقطة السابعة هي المرتبطة بالنقاط التي التي توضح especially to the points that are actually disambiguating or demonstrating the exact same rock clays particularities, or let's just say here rock clays featurization characterizations. So as you can see, the chemical composition defined is helpful in evaluating them for a specific use. يعني التركيب الكيميائي يساعد في تقدير قيمة الطين أو الأطيان الرو لاستخدام معين أو باستخدام معين for specific use or even for certain utilization. This very information must be used in a combination with the physical properties to obtain a complete picture, or to obtain a complete contextualization for the chemical for the rock clays characterization exactly here. Chemically, of course, chemical characterization what else would be, but this. I mean, يعني المعلومات التي المستخلصة أو المستقات must be used يجب أن تستخدم in combination with the physical features، يعني بالاتحاد مع أو بالتوافق مع الخصائص الفيزيائية to obtain a complete picture or for a full contextualization لتأطير كامل أو لتأطير تام للحصول على صورة منمقة to obtain a very fully prettified image about the characterization of the rock clays. يعني الحصول على صورة منمقة تعطي جميع التفاصيل that can give the entire details about the rock clay characterizations or characteristics. يعني عن خصائص الأطيان الخام أو الأولية. In general, the pure clay will be the amount of the combined water. يعني كل ما يزيد محتوى الماء بالطين يؤدي إلى تمييز قيمة الطين. More quantitative water incorporation or introduction right into the clays will help to evaluate or even will assist the evaluatability of the clay type or the quality, as you all pretty much know. So the quantitative water is pretty much essential in determining as well as distinguishing the availability or the evaluation of the clay quality or the clay types. Exactly here. The clay types is pretty much illustrated or disambiguated already, because the clay we're actually dealing with exactly in this very context are pretty much the raw clays. But I'm talking about the clays in general, the quality of clays, the qualitative quality of clays. يعني الكمية النوعية or the quantitative quality أو الكمية النوعية للطين، الكمية النوعية للطين أو كم أو نوعية الطين quality، يعني نوعية الطين الذي نتعامل معه. The great amount of flux، يعني أكثر كمية من المساعدات الصهر اللي هي الفلكس. The great amount of flux exactly here, which is pretty much going to be chemically formalized as follow. The following sentence pretty much indicate right here for you. Sentence chemical sentence or the chemical formulation is indicative right here for you consists of the CaO plus the MgO as well as K2O as well as plus the Na2O, the Fe2O3 is considered from the iron oxide, the sodium oxide, as well as the potassium oxide, as well as the Mg oxide, and like but not least, but not last, exactly here is going to be like the CaO or the calcium oxide. All of them are the oxide. All of them are fluxes, just like the materials or even the certain articles that they can help or aid to temperaturely melt, or they help aid or to melt the. So, just like we said, the greater the amount of flux is the AOs plus MgO plus K2O plus Na2O plus the Fe2O, which is mainly is going to be like respectively is going to be mentioned as the AO, the calcium oxide, as well as plus the MgO. All of them are fluxes going to aid the melting process exactly. The melting process, which will be incorporated exactly into any manufacturing operation of the ceramic exactly. Any manufacturing task and any manufacturing of any ceramic article of wear exactly here. So this is going to be like exactly valid for all types of ceramics, which we're actually dealing with, as well as the wares that considerably melts with high temperatures. Considerably melts with high temperatures, or ultraviolet temperatures, such as the ceramic whitewares or the advanced ceramics. Or the advanced ceramics. We're talking about the traditional sorts of ceramics in this case. يعني هنا هي انواع من الفلكسات اللي هي مساعدات الصهر التي تضاف الى عمليات تصنيع السيراميك لتساعد في صهر السيراميك معين الذي يمتلك نقاط انصهار هائله. مثل السيراميك التقليدي مثلا، او اي نوع من السيراميك التقليدي، مثلا مثلا خلينا نقول مثلا الصحون مثلا، او الفخار، مو فخار وانما الصحون. CaO plus MgO, just like we said here, as you can see from the calcium oxide, يعني the calcium plus MgO, these are going to be like the magnesium oxide or the MgO, plus K2O, the potassium oxide, plus Na2O, the sodium oxide, plus Fe2O3. In this case, it's going to be like the iron oxide, which is going to be like the either hematite or magnetite in this case. But that is going to have not going to be magnets, because it's going to affect the entire validity of the task that we're actually running right now, or even they were actually running. In case of you're running any task, or in case of you're running any manufacturing article exactly here, this is going to be affecting pretty much the validity, as well as going to be affecting the efficiency of this entire, the whole task that we're actually running, or that we're actually activating. We're actually activating exactly here. So the great amounts of circular flux exactly will help melting temperature, will help to increase the melting temperatures, as you can see for me. fluxes. As material which lowers, or even material which exactly is a material, or the fluxes are just saying in articles. Articles, they are mainly as articles. It can be described as articles as well as it can be characterized as articles in case of, or in terms of their components. As you can see in front of the components, just like we said right here, exactly this very previous statement, just like we said, the CaO, MgO, K2O, H2O3, as well as the Fe2O3, the iron oxides, as well as the sodium oxide, potassium oxide, magnesium oxide, as well as the calcium oxide, just like we said, all fluxes can help the materials, or the materials that can help or aid exactly to escalate the diffusion temperature of the material or a mixture, exactly here, to which they are added. يعني هو مادة تساعد على زيادة درجة انصهار المادة أو المزيج المضاف لها الفلكسز to which they are added, or to which the fluxes are added, exactly here. أو هي مادة تضاف لكي تسهل عملية الصهر. Or it's only an article that can be added exactly to facilitate diffusion, or to make ease of diffusion, exactly here. So the white products. The white product requires and a flux is to be prepared with the magnitude of the glass phase or the glazing phase. or the glassy phase, or the magnitude, or with the amount of glassy phase. يعني تحتاج إلى مساعد صهر أو تتطلب مساعد صهر لكي يجهزها بمقدار من الطور الزجاجي. A supplying flux exactly here to supply the white part exactly with a glazing phase. خلال الاحتراق للحصول على القوة والنصف شفافية. أو للحصول على القوة والشفافية. During calcination to gain strength as well as translucency. يعني الشفافية. مو نصف شفافية وإنما translucency يعني الشفافية ككل. By using the flux, exactly, we can produce or even we can yield potteries or even article vehicles or articles wares يعني أشكال تحفية. Articles wares أشكال تحفية. Fluxes either it's going to be like alkali flux or even alkali earth, just like we said in the beginning, or in the correction one of this very context, as you can see here for me. يعني كما أشرنا بالمحاضرة الواحدة الأولى كما أشرنا just like we indicated, the fluxes can be simplified exactly to two sections, the two types of two sources here. The two sides are exactly and mainly are mentioned as the alkali or the alkali earth. يعني إذا القلويات قد تكون الفلكس قلويات أو قلويات أرضية. alkali earth هي قلويات أرضية أو الالكلي هي قلويات تحتوي نسبة أو تحتوي محتوى عالي من القلويات والقلويات الأرضية. Contains high percent of, or contains high content, or the fluxes are of high content of the alkali as well as the alkali earth, both of them in the same time. So by using the flux, we can yield article potteries, or just we can yield in articles, antiques, or coppersmith, or even just like smiths, special places, articles wares, or article wares, or porcelain by calcining them with a temperature of 100 or with a temperature of 1100 to 1300 centigrade. أو بورسلين نقدر نستخلص من الفلكس، أو بورسلين مو نستخلص، أو الفلكس نستخلص من البورسلين إنتاجه، وذلك بحرقها بدرجة حرارة by calcinating them exactly with a temperature of 1100 till 1300 centigrade. Ranging temperature from 1100 right to 1300 centigrade is indicated right here before you. By calcinating them يعني عن خلال حرقهما أو كلسنتهما. حرق يعني درجة الحرق ذات مدى من 1100 درجة سنتيغراد، من 1100 إلى 1300 درجة سنتيغراد درجة الحرق. زيادة القلويات الألكلي في الفلكس تزيد من الصهر. The access of the alkali of the flux exactly that can increase melting or increase melting aid. تزيد من الصهر. زيادة القلويات. الخواص المطلوبة في الفلكسس. The required particularities of the fluxes exactly here. The flux contain alkali of high rate of alkali exactly here. يجب أن يحتوي على alkali عالي المحتوى. يجب أن يكون ذات محتوى alkali عالي. Should be of a high alkali content. The flux should be of a high alkali content exactly here. 2. Should be contains squash of Fe2O3. This also is going to be like a fluxes, but only secondary fluxes to be added to primary fluxes exactly here to increase certain characteristics or even to enhance or improve certain characteristics exactly here. So should contain much of the Fe2O3 as indicated by which is in this case going to be called the magnetite. يجب أن يحتوي كمية من Fe2O3. Should contain a quantity of the Fe2O3. 3 atoms of oxygen, 2 atoms of iron as indicated by here composed of the following compound as you can see by here mentioned as the Fe2O3 as indicated by which is pretty much given as the hematite or magnetite in this case. So the fluxes should contain a high rate of the Fe2O3 or even considerable amount of Fe2O3 moderately يعني يحتويها بنسبة تساعد الفلكس يعني تساعد عملية الصهر This content of the Fe2O3 throughout the flux can aid the melting, can aid through the melting, or it can aid for melting, exactly here. The particle size of the flux is very much of the maximum essentiality. Finite size exactly here, better effect of the fluxes. كل ما زادت نعومة الجسيمات ازداد تأثير الفلكس، ازداد تأثير مساعدة الصهر. The flux can be exactly crushed into a very constant finance. يعني يطحن الفلكس إلى نعومة ثابتة. زيادة نعومة الطحن تسبب increasing the milling finance can cause increasing the surface area of the material or increasing the surface area of the article, as well as increasing the alkali compounds solubility. زيادة ذوبان المركبات القلوية. Increasing the alkali compounds solubility or the alkalis solubility, or increasing the surface area of the articles. يعني زيادة المساحة السطحية للمادة وزيادة ذوبان المركبات القلوية. سؤال: لو زادت نسبة ال Fe2O3 في الفلكس، سؤال مهم يجب أن تنتبهوا عليه. لو زادت نسبة ال Fe2O3 يعني أكسيد الحديد في الفلكس في مساعد الصهر، الذي سيحدث هو جواب: because we have excess amount of the Fe2O3 through the flux. What is it going to do? Or exactly the question is, state the effect. يعني بين التأثير مع زيادة Fe2O3. State the factor Fe2O3 just going to be like in this case as the oxide of the iron, or the iron oxide exactly here. If it was exceeds or even exceeds the particle limit, or if it exceeds if it exceeds the quantity that is determined exactly, or even that is pretty much required for the flux to have throughout the flux itself, or throughout the flux, as you can see. This will result in a deformity of, as you can see in front of you, or this is results in a uniformity, color uniformity of the calcinate wear. Color uniformity of the calcinate wear. يعني يساعد على تنظيم لون الجسم المحروق. السيراميك والتحفيات فإن في السيراميك والتحفيات فإن الفلكس يدمج incorporated. Through ceramics, an article wears if the fluxes will be incorporated or even fused throughout the composition of the object to escalate the heat between the interface between the liquid during calcination. And when the liquid is cold, then the glass that bonding the entire objects or the article particles are together exactly here. عندما يبرد السائل يكون الزجاج الذي يربط الجسيمات جسم معا. The glass that attracts, or let's just say the glass that bonds the entire object particles all together exactly will become. سيكون زجاج عندما يبرد السائل يتحول إلى زجاج يربط الجسيمات الجسم معا. What the school suggests the glass will turn it will turn to a whole new different glassy state that attracts or even can bond the entire object articles all together, or even the article objects all together. عمل الفلكس. The action principle of the flux. يعني عمل مساعدة الصهر. عندما يحرق الجسم فإن الفلكس يرطب الجسيمات الأخرى. What the article says, calcinated sort of flux exactly will humiditize the entire for the particles, so for the materials that can handle or withstand the temperatures more than, or they can considerably it handles or it considerably can withstand the extreme amount of temperatures or the extreme amount of circumstances. 2. This is one. This is the action principle one of the flux that we just said exactly here. This is going to be 2. By continuous calcination. So the surface humidity by the liquid phase will have or will gain or even will exactly display a surface tension forces or power can cause tensile to be affected the entire article objects or heat resistant article objects exactly all together. يعني عند باستمرار الحرق فإن التبلل السطحي بالطور السائل يكون قوى شد سطحي وكفر as surface tension powers exactly can cause the withdrawal of the entire heat resistant article particles actually all together. يعني يسبب سحب جسيمات المواد المقاومة للحرارة معا. يسبب سحب جسيمات المواد المقاومة للحرارة معا. 3. Cavities will exactly escalate the screening of the body, or escalate the body as you can see, or escalate the article. The cavities, let's just say the gaps cavities, يعني فراغات الفجوات. خلالها سيتم التالي. The following will happen right through exactly, or the following will happen right above exactly here, as a result for. باستمرار الحرق كما قلنا فإن التبلل السطحي بالطور السائل by continuous calcination or by continuous firing. So the surface humidity or surface moisturization within the liquid phase will form surface tension powers, surface tension forces that can cause the all heat resistant particles exactly all to be withdrawn together. Surface tension or the surface tension power that cause the tension of the entire heat resistant particle objects all together. The vacancies will cause the particle to shrink as well as to will cause the article to escalate as well as to be inflicted or even inflated or unswelled. 4. The glass will have its own different composition of the flux, of the original fluxes, because of interaction with the constituent, the other further constituents such as the quartz as well as the kaolins. يعني الزجاج يكون تركيبه مختلف. الزجاج will possess a different combination of the original flux يعني عن الفلكس الأصلي المضاف or the original added flux due to interactions with the further object or the further article constituents يعني بسبب تفاعله مع مكونات الجسم الأخرى مثل الكوارتز such as the quartz and the kaolin والكاولينز. 5. عند ارتفاع درجة الحرارة الفيلم القالب الزجاجي سيتصلب وترتبط معه الجسيمات والبلورات الغير مترسبة. When the temperature goes up, the glass mold furnace exactly will be contracted or be set, or let's just say will be stiff, and all articles such as the undeposited or the precipitated particles will be exactly bonded together. يعني عند ارتفاع درجة الحرارة الفيلم القالب الزجاجي the glass mold furnace exactly will be set. And the entire objects as well as the crystals will exactly be attracted as well as bonded together. وترتبط معا الجسيمات والبلورات الغير مترسبة أو المترسبة. مساوية الجسم تعتمد على مقدار وطبيعة الفلكس. The article velocity is very much dependent to the nature or the physicality as well as the magnitude of the flux or the amount of flux incorporated through the objects exactly here, as well as the calcination conditions وظروف الاحتراق. 7. This is an article of this very fluxus particle. So let's just say the fluxus action principle. The fluxion action principle as well as the flux mechanism will be incorporated whenever they are incorporated or whenever they are introduced right exactly to the ceramic objects and articles or where they're actually dealing with exactly in this very context. So by visualizing the 7 points, it's going to be like by visualizing the 7 points, we're going to be exactly bring our own to the 8th point, which is pretty much going to be associated to the action principle of the flux. Lately but not least, exactly here. Lately but not last. The 7 points are going to be lately but not last, exactly here. Forming excessive amount or even forming over amount of glass by calcination or even if it was of a higher fluidity, so the four material of the 4 objects will have the fluidity, exactly here. يعني تكون زجاج أكثر من اللازم بالاحتراق أو إذا كان ذو سيولة عالية فإن المادة المتكونة يصير فيها انتظام. So the fourth material, the formed article will have uniformity, will be uniform, exactly here. يعني المادة المتكونة ستكون منتظمة الأبعاد, will be of a dimensional uniformity as well as of different dimensional high tolerance. يعني ذات خلوص بعدي جيد, have a good high tolerance of dimensions. تكون زجاج أكثر من اللازم. Of formation of the glass, exactly, will by calcination, if it was high fluidity, sort of the entire material formed or the entire formed articles will have uniform, or will have dimensional uniformity, or even will have a dimensional tolerance. The calcination temperature should not cause an intensive variations through the glass to the formed glass. يعني درجات الحرارة باحتراق يجب أن لا تسبب تغيرات شديدة بالزجاج المتكون by the formed glass. فيلدسبار. أكثر أنواع الفلكس استخداما هي الفيلدسبار. يعني أكثر أنواع مساعدات الصهر استخداما هي الفيلدسبار. The most common types of fluxes are used are the feldspar, exactly here. يحتوي على حديد, contains also considerable amount of iron, or even a special amount of iron, as you can see in front of you, as you're pretty much all aware of. So the flux, the types of feldspar. Soluble in water. Let's just say here the features of the spar is exactly here. Contains iron, insoluble in water, يعني يذوب في الماء. انواع الفلدسبار types of feldspar as you can see in front of you. So the chemical formulation, just like we said it before, and just like we make you use to do as exactly we are about to mention right now exactly here. So the chemical formulation should be compromisely as well as entirely and ultimately be comprehended as well as to be memorized. This is mandatorily as well as this is obligatory at the same time. يعني يجب المعادلات الكيميائية والصيغ الكيميائية any chemical formulation is, you can ever come across, and any chemical formulation you get through exactly here should be memorized as well as to be comprehended fully and completely. يعني يجب أن تحفظ المعادلات الكيميائية والصيغ الكيميائية بالسيراميك. لازم واجب. This is mandatory. This is obligatory. You must memorize the entire chemical equation and chemical formulation you can ever come across, or the chemical formulation, any chemical formulas you can ever encounter in this particular context that we're running through right now. يعني خلال أي صيغة كيميائية خلال المضمار السيراميكي الذي نبحثه الآن يجب أن تحفظ لازم. K, as you can see, the K or the potash feldspar is going to be like in the form of the KAlNSi3. with the O8 used with ceramics. يعني يستخدم مع السيراميك البوتاش في الدسبار. الصيغة الكيميائية هي K مع Al و Si3. إما مع Al أو Si3 مع 8 ذرات أكسجين. Either is going to be like with Al and Si3 both in ammonia, aluminum, silicon is going to be the same entire 3 atoms of oxygen as well as with the 8 atoms or the 8 atoms of oxygen as indicated right for it. This is K, potassium. That's what we call the potash feldspar. Here comes the very nomenclature, or here comes the very name of this very flux that we're actually dealing with exactly here. plagioglass هو نفس الألبايت والأنورثايت. الألبايت والأنورثايت خلوها كقاعدة. Let this be a base exactly here. So as you can see from the plagioglass is the same as the albite, as the same as an anorthite or an anorthite at the same time. As you can see from the albite or the soda feldspar. In this case, the albite or the soda feldspar is the same as the plagioglass. They are all glass, but they can be considered as fluxes due to the formation, or due to their inspiration from the feldspar. يعني لأنهم مشتقات their derivation from the spar, they can be considered totally and completely as they are fluxes. يعني يمكن أن يعتبرون أو سيعتبرون مساعدات الصهر لأنهم مشتقين. They are derived ultimately from the feldspar. يعني مشتقين من الفلدسبار. NaAlSi3 Na ويا AlSi3 ويا O8. AlSi3 O8 as you can see in front of you. So the An is going to be like the sodium as well as the Si3 is going to be like the 3 atoms of silicon, as the Al is going to be like alumina in this case, as well as the 8 atoms of oxygen O as indicated by the O8 is indicated right here for you. As given right here for you. So the anorthite is indicated right here exactly as a type of a plagioglass or the limb feldspar. الفلسبار الجيري. يعني can be denoted as an anorthite, or can be denoted as an anorthite as well as an feldspar. Both of them the same meaning, gives the same meaning exactly. It stands for the same article that we're actually dealing with exactly here. So this article is going to be like the third type of the fluxes or the feldspar as fluxes. Ca calcium, Al2 Si2. Both of them are likewise with the amount of atoms that are actually introduced to each of them. يعني Ca وAl وSi2 Al2 Si2 كلاهما نفس عدد الذرات مع ال O8 مع 8 ذرات أكسجين via the O8 8 atoms of oxygen as you can see from the potash contains many of the soda in addition to 50% of quartz. In addition to 50% of quartz. يعني البوتاش يحتوي على صودا بالإضافة إلى 15 كوارتز يعني بالإضافة إلى محتوى 15 من الكوارتز 15 كوارتز. نسبة الصودا للبوتاش عندما تكون عالية the soda potash ratio will be as high as possible exactly here will be used in extruded glass glazes تستعمل في الزجاج أو تستعمل على الزجاج تضاف على الزجاج. Soda potash ratio or higher soda potash ratio, this will result in their utilization through the glass, or the utilization above the glass exactly here. This will result into their utilization above the glass, into their utilization by glass. يعني تستعمل يعني هذا ينتج إلى استعمالها في الزجاج. Glass, glazing يعني بالتزجيج. The high rate of soda يعني معدل الصودا العالي يعطي vitrification يعني تزجيج وكذلك more prone ويكون أكثر عرضة لتحمل الصدمات أو مو صدمات تكون أكثر عرضة أو تعرضي أكثر more pronic which is more susceptible الصودا العالية، يعني محتوى الصودا العالي they contain the high or the ultra level of the soda content exactly will give higher purification as well as more prawn. Extreme rates of prawn. تم بحمد الله رب العالمين